is this is evil. A Muslim is evil.
Every Muslim is a terrorist. Period.
Right now.
Shut your mouth.
Sir.
I don't want to hear your mouth.
Here is that we want to bring light to Islam's tenets as a whole. We do believe that Islam is evil at its core.
This religion teaches that women should be raped. Wicked. There is no peace. There is no peace for anyone who peace.
These people live to kill us. They live to attack us. They live to horrify us. And
this country was founded on Christianity, not this Muslim, pedophile, disgusting, nasty.
No Muslim students coming here with visas. No more mosques being built here until you stand up.
Problem in this country, it's called Muslims. We know our current president is one.
Right.
You know he's not even an American.
We need this
birth
question. This is
certificates,
the
man.
first question.
But
Okay, so my name is Aya Galal. I'm a sophomore student at Quinnipiac. I'm a Muslim American. I'm of Egyptian descent. I was born in America, but my parents were both born in Egypt. Fortunately, I have experienced discrimination throughout my life. And I have been called a terrorist to my face before. In middle school, someone actually pulled my headscarf. People giving you dirty looks. Actually, yesterday I was sitting in the student center, and this is taking into consideration everything that just happened in Paris and California, and I sat at a table next to a girl. The girl saw me, she got up, walked away, and sat at another table halfway across the student center. Apparently she was uncomfortable with me, so it's things like that. One time my mother was in Costco doing grocery shopping. She came back out to the car, someone had written terrorist on the car. And these are just minor forms of discrimination when you look at the bigger things that have happened to other Muslims, not just in America, but across the globe. Unfortunately, a lot of times the media negatively portrays Muslims through their word choices that they use to describe Muslims, the way they unfairly report cases that involve Muslims, and they often paint Islam with a very broad brush. There are 1.6 billion Muslims in the world right now, and what happens a lot of times is that the media will attribute the actions of a few people to the entire religion, which is very, very unfair. It's not fair to me to be blamed for something that's happening halfway across the world that I had no involvement with. And it's really unfortunate to see the amount of fear that people felt towards Muslims after 9/11 and continue to feel right now. And I think 9/11 was what really triggered the amount of Islamophobia that Muslims are being a victim of right now. There was discrimination against Muslims before that, but 9/11 really contributed to that. Unfortunately, there's a lot of misconceptions about the hijab, which is just the headscarf, and the hijab is required in Islam, and the reason being is that it's a form of modesty, and it's also a way of protecting women. You know, I look at it as, you don't have to judge me by how I look, rather judge me by my actions, judge me by my intelligence, not my body. And people think that hijab is just something you throw on your hair and that's it. But hijab is also a concept as well. Hijab goes back to, you know, how you demonstrate yourself in public, you know, if you're being respectful, if you're being kind, not like swearing, things like that. That's all part of hijab. It's not just how you're dressed, it's just being modest in your actions as well. And a lot of people think that hijab is oppressive, people are being forced to wear this, but for me, I love wearing hijab. It's part of who I am. I will never ever take it off. And the fact that people really misunderstand hijab is upsetting to me, so I try to do my best to educate others on why I wear it, and I enjoy wearing it. This is part of me, this is my identity. And I do feel that I've been randomly selected far too often at airports, and it's a little upsetting. it is a little unfair that people are more suspicious of me or my family members because we wear the hijab, because we wear the headscarf. Sometimes in airports, people do look at us suspiciously. People seem upset if they have to like sit next to us on the airplane, like, oh no, what if those Muslim people do something, when in reality we're just trying to enjoy a vacation in the Bahamas or in Florida. So it is upsetting. The best thing that we could do to counter Islamophobia is just educating people on Islam, teaching people what Islam really stands for, and having people not fall prey to the unfair things that the media often puts out. And Islam is, unfortunately, I would say, the most misunderstood religion, and if people actually learned about the basic concepts of Islam, you don't really have to get into crazy theological depth, just the core principles of Islam, things like giving charity, helping others, treating your neighbors nicely, treating your parents kindly, being honest, trustworthy, all these things, you know, that people don't think Islam or people of Muslim faith believe in, but that's really what our religion is centered around. And Islam actually comes from the root word in Arabic that is salam, which means peace. And it's actually a religion of peace, but so many people fail to realize that. There are so many misconceptions out there. So if people just took the time to read like a basic book about Islam, why we fast, why we give charity, why we pray, why we believe there's only one God, they would realize that this religion isn't as terrible as everybody is making it seem. And if you talk to a Muslim, you know, just talk to them, talk to us. You know, we're more than willing to answer questions, any questions that anyone might have. And you'll see, you know, we're just normal people. We're normal Americans. We love this country. We love our religion at the same time. And at the end of the day, we're just trying to live the American dream, trying to be successful people. And if people just learn more about what Islam actually teaches and stop falling prey to the media's depiction of Islam as a religion that promotes violence and angry people who are always fighting all the time, people would see that, you know, this is not what Islam stands for. There's a verse in the Quran, our holy book, that says if you kill a person, it's as if you've killed all of humanity. But if you save a person's life, it's as if you saved all of humanity. So if people learned more about the Quran, learned more about the Prophet, they would see that there's so much beauty in this religion that promotes peace, that promotes giving to charity, helping other people. So definitely education is the best thing we could do to counter Islamophobia and discrimination.